What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and yesterday the Colts revealed their unofficial depth chart for Week 1. I'm going to go through it. I'll give you guys my thoughts, let you know what sticks out to me, all that good stuff. But before we do that, if you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like this video, smack that like button. Leave your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on the unofficial depth chart? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There's a link in the description down below. So like I said earlier, yesterday the Colts revealed their unofficial depth chart for Week 1 when they take on the Texans. I'm going to start with offense. We're going to run through this thing, and then I'll let you know what sticks out to me. So starting with quarterback, we have Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, and then Sam Ehlinger. At running back, we have Jonathan Taylor, we have Nyheim Hines, and we have Deion Jackson. Now moving on to the receivers. Group 1 for the receivers, we have Alec Pierce, Mike Strawn, and Desmond Patman. Group 2 for the receivers, we have Paris Campbell. And then Group 3 for the receivers, we have Michael Pittman Jr. and Ashton Dulin. Now we're going to move on to tight ends. First group for the tight ends, we have Mo Alley Cox. And then our second group for the tight ends, we have Kylan Granson and Jelani Woods. Now moving on to the offensive line. At left tackle, we have Matt Pryor, and then we have Bernhard Raimann. At left guard, we have Quentin Nelson. At center, we have Ryan Kelly and Wesley French. At right guard, we have Danny Pinter and Will Fries. And then at right tackle, we have Braden Smith, Dennis Kelly, and Luke Tenuta. I believe that's how you say his last name. So that is the offense. So now we're going to move on to the defense. And we'll start off with the defensive ends. One group of defensive ends, we have Kwity Paye, Taekwon Lewis, and Dio Adengbo. The other group of defensive ends, we have Yannick Ngakoue, Ifedi Odenibo, and Ben Banogu. Moving on to defensive tackle, we have DeForest Buckner and Byron Cohart. And then at nose tackle, we have Grover Stewart and Eric Johnson. Now moving on to the linebackers. At weak side linebacker, we have Bobby Okereke, EJ Speed, and Grant Stewart. At middle linebacker, we have Shaquille Leonard. And then at the Sam, we have Zaire Franklin and JoJo Doman. Now moving on to the corners. One group of corners we have is Brandon Faison and Dallas Flowers. At nickel, we have Kenny Moore. And the other group of corners, we have Stephon Gilmore and Isaiah Rodgers. Now moving on to safety. At free safety, we have Julian Blackman and Rodney Thomas. And then at strong safety, we have Nick Cross and Rodney McLeod. And now we're going to move on to special teams. Punter, we have Matt Hawk. At place kicker, we have Rodrigo Blankenship. Holder is going to be Matt Hawk. Long snapper is Luke Rhodes. Kick returners are going to be Isaiah Rodgers and Ashton Dulin. And punt returner is going to be Nyheim Hines. So that is the unofficial depth chart. Now, I'm going to run through, I'm going to tell you guys what stands out to me, starting with offense. Quarterback, running back, I mean, that's what we expected. Matt Ryan being the starting quarterback, Nick Foles being his backup, and then Sam being QB3. Not a surprise at all. And then, obviously, Taylor starting at running back. No surprise with Nyheim Hines being his backup. But let's go to the receivers. The one thing that stands out to me when we're talking receivers here is Mike Strawn being listed ahead of Desmond Patman. That one right there does surprise me. But what that tells me is that when Mike Strawn came back, he showed the team a lot more than what Desmond Patman showed. Like, Mike Strawn missed a lot of the offseason. Like, he missed most of it, and then he came back in, the final 2 weeks of training camp? So, the fact that he's listed ahead of Desmond Patman tells me that Mike Strawn is showing that he's the better receiver, and there might be a gap between him and Desmond Patman. I don't know. We're going to find out how much they play in the regular season pretty soon. But that right there did stick out to me. Another thing, left tackle Matt Pryor officially being named the starter. Not a surprise to me or others, but I am very curious to see how long that lasts. Because Bernhard Raimann, in the short time he's been in Indianapolis, has shown me that he is capable of one day being the starter at left tackle. I don't know when that's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts at some point this year. But yeah, Matt Pryor being the starter, that stands out to me. I do find it weird that with the tight ends, and I don't know, maybe this is what it was like last year and I'm just blanking on it, but there's two groups of tight ends. I think that really surprises me, but maybe that's how it's always been. So now we're going to move on to defense, talk about what stands out to me there. Defensively, I think one thing that stands out to me when we talk about the corners is Brandon Faison starting over Isaiah Rodgers. I know in training or in the preseason, Brandon Faison did start, but I did think there's a chance that Isaiah Rodgers could earn that starting spot. Like, I think Brandon Faison is a good corner for sure. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good corner. I just thought with what we saw last year and with what we heard in training camp, Isaiah Rodgers would have earned that starting spot. So that right there does surprise me, but it does also tell me that Brandon Faison is going to be a good corner and we're going to be fine. Because Isaiah Rodgers, I think, is more than capable to start at corner. So the fact that Brandon Faison's starting over him tells me that this guy's going to be good. He's definitely going to be good. So strong safety. Nick Cross starting over Ronnie McLeod. That right there stands out to me. I know in preseason, Nick Cross did start over McLeod, but I'll be completely honest. I expected McLeod, at least in the regular season, to be the starter in week 1. I thought eventually Nick Cross would earn it, but that definitely does stand out to me. So good for Nick Cross. Yeah, I'm so happy we drafted him. I'm so happy we traded and were able to pick up Nick Cross because I think Nick Cross is going to be a very good safety in the NFL. So I'm really, really happy to see that. Moving on to special teams, I guess the one thing that stands out to me, kick returner Isaiah Rodgers, Ashton Doolin. I thought maybe with Ashton Doolin more than likely being receiver 4, maybe they would slip in Dallas Flowers because I liked what I saw from him on the kick return. He did well last year in kick returns. I believe he had 2 kick returns for touchdowns last year. So I thought maybe just to be safe, they would have Doolin not play special teams and they would have Dallas Flowers play on special teams. But yeah, really outside of that, that is your unofficial depth chart. Those are the things that stand out to me. If there's anything that stands out to you, let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like this video, smack the like button. Leave your thoughts down below. If you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There's a link in the description down below. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.